Yeah, Kendall, for you personally, I know most of the players say they enjoy the bye week. A little frustrating for you that you're on a roll, 3 tackles against Temple. Did you really want to get back at it the next week, or will you trade that for the rest you got?
I think it's always nice to go out there and play football. I'll never trade that up, but I think the bye week was nice for the team as a whole. A little bit of a reset going into this stretch of games that we have coming up. So, you know, rest is nice for sure, but always nice to play football.
Well, you're going to be up against it this week with an offense that makes more attempts at plays, I think, than anyone else in the country. What's it like playing against a team like this that gets up on the ball so quickly?
I think it'll definitely be a challenge. Every week we come out a new opponent, a new challenge that we face. So, this being just another challenge that we're faced this season. I think it's exciting to go up against a team like this season, and tempo and really put our abilities to the test.
What is your role like when you know that you're going to be playing a lot of time, maybe not out there in the starting lineup, but you have to be ready to go at a moment's notice?
So I think my role, like Coach Booker always says, like if you're out there, you're the starter. And I feel like that's what it is, knowing that this is a team who played, I believe I was told 99 snaps in this past game. So just being ready to go out there and have no fall off, no drop off between the people who are starting the game and the people who are giving those guys breaks and coming in, being able to make plays and just keep the team going.
And these are the games where you sprint off those sidelines to get in there, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Wags.
Hey, Kendall, good to see you. How's everything?
Just going good. How are you?
Great. Uh, Coach Newberry and Coach Volker both said that a big focus of the bye week was getting the defense kind of fixed, working on things to make improvements. What were some of the talking points? What were some of the things that you all focused on during the bye week?
Some of the biggest stuff we focused on during the bye week was sort of just doing our job and like playing off like the fundamentals of football because those are some of the things that never change. Just making sure our fundamentals are sound and we're going out there every play and doing our job and not trusting the guys next to us to do their job as well. And overall, that way the team can and the defense can play as a unit.
And I know Coach Volker and Coach Newberry talked about getting the defensive calls in more quicker. Um, and that is going to be critical here in this game with this team that goes so fast and snaps the ball so quickly. Do you feel like you made progress in that area?
I think we made progress in a lot of areas on the defense. I think we took a lot of steps over the bye week to clean a lot of things up and on every end. So I think going into this week, I think we'll definitely be successful.
So, I mean, Coach Newberry and Coach Volker have said they know this can be a good defense. The players are talented. Has it been frustrating for you guys on the defense that you have not kind of been up to the standard that they set?
Yeah, I think we all know like what our potential can be, and I think Coach Newberry talked about the gap between how like what we're capable of and how we have been playing. So that's kind of what we're striving to prove every week is just live up to like and play to that capability that we know we are able to. Of
Thanks, Kendall.
course.
Tim Nolan.
Again, earlier this week, Coach Newberry told us that he informed all of you guys that he right now he feels that you are towards upper middle of the pack in the American Conference. When you as a leader of this team hear that, how do you process it?
Um, you know, it's definitely something to take in because you always feel like uh your team is the best and you have the best group of guys always. But I mean it's the reality. I mean, Coach Newberry obviously knows what he's talking about, and sometimes you need that tough love and that reality for and guys need to hear that in order to sort of like have that self-reflecting moment and like take a look in the mirror and recognize like you need to tighten up your chin strap and go play ball and do what you need to do.
I know FAU's on the other side of the state from your high school, but 3.5 hours away. Did they ever give you a look growing up?
I took a game day visit there in high school. Nice facilities. It was a good game, but nothing too much.
Your team has had a flair for the dramatic this season, a couple of late wins. What do you attribute that to?
Um, I think it could just be attributed to us needing to play 4 quarters of ball, not one half, not 1 quarter. Uh, we just need to strive to be consistent on all fronts at every position.
Thanks, Kendall.
Of course, thank you.
Wyatt Kopelman.
Kendall, what's it been like to work with Griffin Willis at the D tackle spot? He's a junior or senior. It seems like there's a lot of experience to tap into there.
It's been absolutely amazing. I love Griff to death. One of the guys I'm closest with on the D line, I'd say. I'd say the D line is a super close knit unit and group of guys, and I think being able to play with Griff and behind him, it's like playing with my brother, and I wouldn't trade it for anybody.
How do you expect the two of you in this defensive line to set the tone this week against the Florida Atlantic offense that Tim said, a couple others have said is just very dominant when it comes to extending drives and running a lot of plays?
Mhm. So I think we have a good coach and a good scheme with Coach Hall. He never fails to have us ready for our opponent. And I think just with our group of guys who are brought in, Griff, Landon, Julian Mudame, you got Xavier Arrington, just a good group of guys who are brought into what Coach Hall is teaching us and the game plan that he's giving us with Coach Volker and Coach New. And I think we'll be ready to go.
And kind of going back to your background at Sefner in high school, what you bring to this defensive line, in addition just to the team, it has 22 other Floridians. How much of an advantage do you see it is for this team to compete at the highest level in the conference, but also nationally with some great talent out of one of the best states for talent in the country?
Um, I think uh, I think Florida represents strong here at this school, and I think every guy on the team would say so. And I think we bring a lot of that sort of Florida enthusiasm and sort of heart and just love for the game to everything that we do, like which every guy on the team does. But I have love for my Florida guys and love for Florida ball.
Thank you.
I'm gonna expound on he mentioned Sefner Christian. You're from Tampa, went to high school in Brandon at Sefner Christian, a place I'm familiar with because my niece is a senior in high school there. How did you end up at Sefner, and how did they help you both on and off the field develop into becoming a midshipman at Navy?
Of course. So yeah, I ended up at Sefner because so I had one of my best friends went there, and I'm very big on my faith, and talking to him just about how like the Sefner incorporates faith into the curriculum, um, and then also speaking with coaches there and how it's how they allow you to how they had a good athletic program to go along with that. So going there and took a visit and kind of shadowed to see like how it would work and if I enjoyed it. And I did. So I ended up going there and along with my younger brother and sister. And there I definitely learned a lot of things, like grew in my faith, grew in academics, grew in sports, just with a good coaching staff and a lot of like great men and just great people who I talk to still to this day, with teachers and advisors and other classmates. So really was able to grow there and sort of I'd say helped and aided in my foundation for coming here and being successful at the Naval Academy.
Thank you. Scott Wyckoff.
What has it meant to you to have literally been side by side with Landon for your entire journey through the Naval Academy, not only on the field, but also in the brigade?
I'd say it's definitely a great relationship. It's you build those bonds with people that you go to naps with and that you play ball with for so long. And it's crazy to think like it feels like a blink of an eye, but to have known some of these guys on the team and like Landon specifically for this many years and to see how each person has grown and as people, as ball players, and kind of step into their own light sort of thing. So it's been great knowing Landon all these years for sure.
How fired up are you guys to get back at it and really go after Florida Atlantic?
Definitely fired up, like excited. Like I said, every opportunity to play ball chomping at the bit for sure, and just go out there another week to prove ourselves.
And what's it like running out onto the field? You only have a couple more scheduled home games left. What is it like when you run through that tunnel out onto the field?
Honestly, it's indescribable. There's nothing like it. Running out to into Navy Marine Corps, it's something bigger than yourself, and playing for all those guys in the Brotherhood who have played before you, who will play after you. All the people who have given their lives and with Navy on their back and the Marine Corps on their back. So it's a great honor.
And is it pretty cool knowing that every person you go to school with is there at the game with you?
Almost definitely, the brigade is like being there and seeing them and hearing them roar. It's electric, and there's nothing like it, honestly.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
Wags.
Two defensive linemen, Landon and Griffin, are among Navy's leading tacklers, which is rare. Usually, the linemen are usually, taken on double teams and just trying to occupy blockers so that the linebackers can make the tackles. What can you say about Landon and Griffin being among the two leading tacklers on the team?
I think that just goes to show, who they are. They refuse to be blocked. It's not an option for them. They go above and beyond to do whatever they can for the team, and I think that shows.
So are you cross training at both nose guard and D tackle? Do you sometimes spell Landon at nose guard or no?
We have different packages in, but Coach Hall, he's the type of guy who will have anybody ready for any position. That's just the way he coaches it. He recruited all of us, and uh, the fundamentals are the fundamentals in his eyes. So he'll have us ready to play whatever's needed.
And we talked about the focus on defensive improvement. In your opinion, what are the things that Navy needs to do better in the wake of not so great performances against Air Force and Temple?
I'd say the biggest thing the coaches have harped on was just trusting our brothers, trusting everybody to do their job, and you focusing on your job, and you know giving everything you have to do your 111th, and trusting the guys next to you, behind you, in front of you to do their 111th as well.
All right, thanks, Kendall.
Thank you.
Tim.
Kendall, Griffin Willis let us in a little secret about a D lineman get together at the Willis household. I need to know what's the best meal you've ever had when you guys all get together over there.
Um, I'm not a frequent over there, but will say the quesadillas are something special for sure.
I love it. Also, Kendall, I'm having a tough time putting the violent player we see on the field with the guy that's talking to us right now. How do you get yourself motivated and jacked up for game day to play at your absolute best?
Um, I'd say I don't think it's not a whole lot that you need. I think every person that knows that when you play ball, like, there's business and there's pleasure. And when you're out on that field and you put those pads on, you lace your cleats up, like it's business. It's not a joking, lighthearted matter. So, just get in that zone. I don't think it's hard for any guy who loves the game.
One last from me, Kendall. You guys are the lone unbeaten team right now in college football out of the top 25. But what do you and your teammates make of that?
It's definitely we welcome the pressure that comes along with it. We know every week that you're an unbeaten team, and you get more buzz around your name. More people are looking to uh, take you off the map, but we welcome it, and for us, we're just taking it week by week, 1-0 every game.
Awesome. Thanks, Kendall.
Thank you.
Wyatt.
And I want to go back to everything that you accomplished at Sefner, of course, the back-to-back regional titles. But what was kind of like your routine in high school? Can you talk a little about that? Was it very different from Navy when you have a school like Sefner that's used to competing statewide, nationally too, as the way it does?
Um, when you say routine, what can you expound on that a little bit? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like? Did you have practices in the morning? Like, did you like
Okay.
what was it like kind of getting ready to compete nationally like every week? Is a lot like Navy?
Yeah, so I'd say it's similar and different in ways. Obviously with Navy's like rigorous schedule and everything we have going on outside of football. Uh, it's definitely different where as Navy we get like those lunch lifts in and like the afternoon practices at whereas in high school, it's really just different ball. Like everything being done in the afternoon. But I wouldn't say it's uh overall routine or schedule is too different. I'd say the biggest difference is just the jump between high school ball and college ball. It's a different thing. College ball, you recognize it like it's a business. It's a job.
Right, right. Well, being in Florida and in the Tampa area, who were your idols on the football field growing up? Was it a lot of Tampa Bay Bucks? What was your team as well?
Yeah, well, growing up, my dad is from Texas, so I wasn't allowed to live in his house if I wasn't a Cowboys fan. But being in Tampa, you can't help but be inspired by the Bucks, and especially like in my high school years, like as they're like doing great things and just being able to go to more of the games. So yeah, you love the Bucks and like dudes like Vita Vea who are just like powerhouses and you just love to hear some of that stuff, and obviously it's inspiring just being from Tampa.
Right. I know you mentioned earlier that you got to look at FAU. USF is a team that's doing quite well in this conference right now. The quarterback has been a large part of that success. Do you still kind of follow a lot about what's going on, down in Florida with the schools down there, or is it a little bit harder to do that with what Navy's been doing so far this year?
I'd say like with college ball, I like to focus a lot with what we got have going on, especially during the season. I think there's a lot of study that goes on with our opponents. I'd say like keeping track of like this like USF and FAU schools like that we're gonna play, being in film. But other than that, I'd say a lot of focus is I keep here on Navy.
And how is this defensive line unique from the others you've played at with Navy?
Um, I'd say the difference about Navy is just the easiest answer is the Brotherhood, man. It's a real thing. It's living, it's breathing, and it's seen every day, in every meeting, in every practice. It's very eminent.
Thank you.
Kendall, your dad is a very smart man. Go Cowboys. Does anyone have anything else for Kendall?
Can I ask one more thing?
Yeah, sure. Go.
What are the biggest things you've learned from working with PJ Volker? I know he's traditionally a linebackers coach, but what are the biggest things you've learned from the time you've had together?
Um, some of the biggest things I've learned from Coach Volker is sort of just like so one, obviously just the trust, right? Trusting the coaches, trusting your brothers who are playing on the field with you, trusting everybody to do their job and you doing your job. That way every like you can work as a unit. And um another thing that I've learned is just honestly just the passion that Coach Volker has every meeting, every time he speaks to us, and every practice. It's second to none, and I think it's contagious. The passion and just pride that he has in everything he does. It makes every person on that team a better player.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Kendall? All right. Thanks a lot, Kendall. Great job. We'll be back at 2:30 with Coach Volker.
Thank you.